Hello, we're up. Hey, collectors. Welcome to The Collectors. This is episode 6, where we go through our collection. We explore, what new treasures we might have brought in, what's exciting us that's on our shelves. We share it with you. We have fun in this live chat. We have a bit of a panel here of experts to show their expertly chosen stuff. And let's take it away. We're in live chat. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, hit the like button. Join us in the chat. We'll say hi to you. Like, hi, Mrs. Q. She's in the chat. Hey, Melissa.
Oh, hey, Melissa.
Hey, Melissa.
We had a bunch of early folks join in a couple hours ago because, YouTube gave them the wrong time or something. I'm totally blaming YouTube on it. So hopefully they'll come back. But with me, as always, is Curtis over there.
Ahoy, mateys. How we doing?
He's the one with the hat.
I'm wearing a hat tonight. I'm wearing a hat, but it's a bit of foreshadowing. Bill, are you familiar with the term foreshadowing?
Oh, yes.
That's all I'm going to say.
Has it got a French word on it?
It's what does it say? Bonnet?
That sounds like an amusement park in Montreal.
Well, we'll find out, won't we? We'll find out.
All right, cool. And of course, we got Matt Bandy here in the bottom.
Hello. Good to see everybody.
He's got a bit of a stomach issue, so he prepared himself with what's behind him on the. So at any point, he might disappear, take a bale of paper with him. It's okay. Anything goes on this show.
It's always good to be prepared.
That's right. It's good to see you. You had a bit of a trip.
Been a while.
You went on vacation or something?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I was in Texas for a week, just my wife and I.
Nice.
My mom came out and stayed with the kids and took them to school. And my wife and I were in Texas.
That's a bit of a haul, isn't it, for you, Texas?
It was like a 3-hour flight from San Luis Obispo to Dallas, direct flight.
Isn't Dallas's airport really weird? It's super big, and you have to take like these trams around.
Yes, like it is a big airport, and we had to take like a bus or a tram thing to where we pick up our rental car and different spots.
It's big,
but
that's
a pretty big airport. Yeah,
that's Texas's thing, right? Is like everything's bigger in Texas.
It's a big state.
That's what they say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the thing?
Mm-hmm.
That is the thing.
Yeah, I had a great time. Had a lot of good food. It was so good. Some of the best barbecue I've ever had in my life. And it was almost impossible for me to decide on what to get. The menu, everything looked amazing. And halftime I just ask, someone who worked there, or the server, say, hey, what do you recommend? And I would get that.
Now, are these like chain restaurants you're talking about, or like one-off? These are like one-off, like old Jim Bob's, backhouse BBQ.
We went to the first barbecue place we went to was in Fort Worth, which is where we stayed. What's up, Mother Brain?
Yo.
And Panther City Barbecue was where we went to. And Panther City, I guess, is Fort Worth's nickname. So that was recommended to us, and that was our first stop, actually, our very first stop. And I got a pound of brisket and some jalapeno smoked mac and cheese. And my wife got pulled pork. And we've had banana pudding for dessert, which is a big Texas thing. Banana pudding.
I like
lost me on banana pudding. I loved everything else, but banana pudding.
No, it's not just like straight like yellow banana pudding. It's got other. It's like a very fluffy, airy. It's very tasty.
Okay, well, I'll take your word for it. But yeah, you gotta give these places a shout out. So what was it called? Panther City
Barbecue. Yeah,
barbecue.
If you're ever in Dallas Fort Worth, check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, one more thing. There was another restaurant that was in downtown Fort Worth. I forget the name of it, but it was like a little classier Texas barbecue. And I had, for the first time, Rocky Mountain oysters.
Oh, you had some bull testicles?
Yeah, they called them calf fries. They were called calf fries. And I'd always assumed, I'd never seen Rocky Mountain oysters. I always heard about them. I assumed it was like it came out. You got the eggs, right?
Like a deep fried
egg.
nut.
Yes, it's not like that at all. They're chopped up and they look like boneless chicken wings. And what sold me on it was like, hey, they taste like really rich beef. I was like, okay, that sounds good. And I had it. It was really good.
Would you order it again?
Yeah, totally.
That was
I
good.
wouldn't if you hadn't said, oh, this is just some deep fried meat. Okay, I couldn't tell any difference. It was really good.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
So I saw a couple cool, a lot of cool shops there. Went to a couple record stores, bookstores, and yeah, I had a great time. It was awesome.
Nice.
Cool.
So you got a fair share of hunting. Are we going to see some of these wares tonight? These
actually,
sundries, if you will.
99% of what I'm going to show tonight is what I got in Texas.
What
Nice.
a tease. What a tease. That's a good one.
Do they hand you a gun as soon as you get off the plane?
No, Bill, I already have a gun, so I didn't need one.
Oh, okay. Just curious.
But it is open carry in Texas.
So like when you hit Texas airspace, can you like, look what I got?
Not on the plane. So.
The stewardess says, "We're over Texas now, everyone."
Just so everyone, this is your pilot speaking. I just want to let you know we're over Texas airspace now, so feel free to brandish your nearest firearm. Do people compare guns? Is there a lot of like
no, I didn't
big
see a
gun
single gun while I
envy
was
there?
I didn't see a single gun while I was there.
Gotcha.
It's not something that people go around, showing off.
Well,
I don't know. I haven't. The only time I went to Texas, I was in the skinny part. I went to Amarillo. Well, aside from flying through, I go through Dallas a lot on layovers and stuff. But when I actually was stopped in Texas, I was in Amarillo, which I believe is in like the little part at the top.
Okay, yeah, right by
touches
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, cool story, huh?
Great.
Should we start showing some stuff, or what's going on? Do we have any more surprises?
Looks like my neighbor was trying to get in the front door here, but hey, we're in the middle of a big broadcast right now. You just can't walk away. Yeah, let's get things started. I got something for you guys, and this plays off of what Curtis puts us through every week on the Collectors, where he gives us a bit of trivia. I thought I'm gonna one up him.
Coming up soon.
I'm gonna get him on the trivia, and it's something he knows a lot about, as well as Bandy, and it will come from this game right here.
Oh, nice.
Oh no, this is gonna destroy me, but I love it. Yes.
Have I not showed this board game before?
I don't know. That's great. What year is that from? Can I see the cover again?
It looks early because Worf still has
Worf's hair is short. I was gonna say it looks like season.
That looks like season 2, 3.
No,
well,
it's true. They got the new.
Oh,
new...
I'm sorry. I didn't see. I thought he still had the red uniform on. Now I can see he's got his stuff on.
Yeah, but his hair is still short.
Yeah,
but they have the season 3 uniforms on, so it's like season 3, 4 somewhere.
And what year are you guys saying?
I'm guessing that. Let's see, that would be 90, 91, somewhere in there.
This is from 93.
Oh,
93.
That was my next guess.
I, of course, got this in the hopes that I would find someone to play with, and still looking for someone to play this game.
What are you talking about? We're right here.
You break this out, and a lot of crickets in the room once you break that out.
Maybe we need to have, aside from the Collectors, we need to have a special episode where we just get a bunch of people around and we play this game, and then you move the pieces around or whatever you have to do.
Or I've been suggesting for years we should just start a Star Trek podcast.
Oh, well, there's none of those out there.
There you go.
Well, not with us.
Comes with a bunch of these things. I don't know
you're
what
right.
we do with those.
Is that
dilithium crystals?
And then it comes with these this thing. That's kind of, you put those pegs in there, and then you hold this strategy board on here. This is like a space strategy, and it's based off trivia questions. So you get the trivia questions right, you can do stuff. It's super complicated. I've read the instructions many, many times. Can't figure it out. There's one with the stickers on it. So you got all these different systems.
This seems very complicated.
Yeah. Oh, it is. You got the Federation scenario book right there.
Oh.
So I don't know.
What's your favorite Star Trek series, Bill? Where do you land?
Well, yeah, this of course, but Voyager, man, I'm just loving it so much. I'm
Voyager's great.
almost done my final season watch of Voyager. Like season 7, I'm in episode 8 or something like that. I'm loving it.
All right.
You got these cards.
Q. Oh, like that.
Anything can happen. I don't know what's in here. Let me see what's in here. Oh,
Like the answer for who killed Professor Plum.
Yeah.
crayons.
Oh, there's some drawing involved.
Yeah, more of these cards. I don't know. Okay, and then you get these. Each player gets this giant thing.
So you don't
How
see
many
each
players?
other.
Sticks under that, right?
You-
That
you
holds
do-
it up.
You don't actually look at each other while you're playing.
How many people can play the game? Up to
We got 4 here.
four screens.
Yeah.
All right.
How many nerds does it take to play a Star Trek: The Next Generation game?
And I think that's what the crayons are for, to draw your plot, whatever you're doing on here. And then look at the back. It's got a nice little Enterprise on there.
Oh, I see that there.
Is that embossed?
No, it's just subtly printed on there.
Oh.
Okay. I'm getting to the questions here. Comes in this thing.
Oh.
And these are all the questions. I've never gotten one of these questions right. They are so difficult and obscure and
Yeah.
just
Wow.
I know. That's the thing about Trek trivia is you gotta be really into the show. This game looks dumb, says Duke.
Oh, dude, come on.
look at all these cards. Every one of these cards has a picture on it. Like, this would be way too expensive to produce nowadays. Okay. Let me get us back here. Okay. Wow. The writing is small on here. I just randomly picked a card.
Is there a category?
It's level 1.
Okay. How many
All right.
levels does it go?
There's level 1 and level 2.
Who's this going to? Is this Bandy or me?
Who wants to go first?
Oh,
Okay.
why don't we just both ring in?
Okay.
Whoever gets it first.
Buzz.
Okay. Well, there is multiple
Buzz
choice.
the duck.
Oh, there's multiple choice. Oh, if there's
There is.
multiple choice, yeah, then give it. Yeah, we'll do one question
One.
each.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still gonna buzz the duck. Bzz.
Okay. Curtis, you're up first here. With whom did Wesley Crusher have a date when Ambassador Sarek's party arrived aboard the USS Enterprise?
Well, oh, golly.
You want the multiples here?
Yeah.
You need them?
Well, Sarek is Spock's dad, right?
Spock's dad. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was it A, Ensign Suzanne Dumont, or B, Ensign Robin Lefter? God, I need more light here. Leffier, or Ensign Sonia Gomez?
I'm gonna guess C, Bill. Sonia Gomez. Or Gomez.
Wrong.
It's A,
Obviously.
right?
What, Matt?
It's A.
Yeah, obviously. Suzanne Dumont.
Dumont.
Obviously.
Man, I'm such an idiot.
Wasn't Sonia Gomez, wasn't she the one that spilt her something on Picard? She spilt her drink on Picard.
She
Do you remember
is
that?
in the show, I thought.
Oh, she was kind of klutz, right?
Yeah.
She asked a lot of
Oh.
questions and
She
kind
was
of was
with
an
Geordi.
annoyance. Yeah.
She had like the nice curly hair. She had long hair for an engineering ensign. All right, Bandy, you ready?
Yes. Oh, yes. I'm ready.
Okay. What starship is the flagship of the Federation?
What?
Even
Bill,
I
that
know
would be the
this one.
Enterprise.
Bandy doesn't need the options for that. I don't know how that question
This
is
is
right
bull crap.
underneath.
This is bull crap.
Well, we see who the true Trek fan is now. So.
I want a mulligan.
It was absolutely the Enterprise, of course. The other options were the Yamamoto or the Galaxy.
Oh,
I almost thought that was a trick question for
Yeah.
a second. I was like,
Yeah,
wait a minute.
I know. Like I said, I've never seen an answerable question on these cards, so that was shocking. Good work, Bandy. Bandy up by 1.
Thank you.
Should we just go right ahead to the level 2?
let's do it.
There's no multiple answers for level 2.
Don't need multiple. I know it. I was testing Bandy before, and he passed.
Thank you.
So these are probably for the same episode, it looks like. Maybe that's a little bit of a hint for you.
Okay.
Who used his telepathy to stabilize Ambassador Sarek's deteriorating emotional control?
Who used his telepathy? I don't know.
Bandy?
It was
Big
another.
Steele?
Huh?
No, it was another Vulcan. I can't remember who it was though.
Okay. Sounds like you both give up.
Yeah.
It is. Duke, do you know it? Is Duke in the chat?
Yeah, Duke
wanna-
knows it. Uh-huh.
Okay. It was Sacketh.
Okay. That's what I
Remember?
was that right on the tip of my tongue. I was saying I remembered it as you said it. That's the thing.
I sat on my sack at the work today. I didn't feel very good.
All right. Final question. Bandy can go up by 2 and just obliterate.
Well,
the
don't
whole
I
thing.
have 2 points? Oh, I've
You
already
got
won. But...
1 point. Again, same episode, so we all know this.
Hate
How
this episode.
old was Ambassador Sarek at the time of the Lagarin negotiations?
Well, Bill, as you should know, he was 350 years old.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Way off.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Let's see if it'll focus here.
No.
Oh,
202.
202? Yeah.
202. And that's how small the writing is on this card. Like, it's not me just being old. It is hard to read this.
Who's on that picture? Who's the picture of that?
The picture is
Oh, that's Waxana's.
Yeah, Luoxana's. That's
Mr.
You rang?
Holm.
it's
Mr. Holm?
No, that,
Lurch from the Addams family. But it's Luoxana's like bodyguard or valet or whatever you call it.
Yeah. All right. So that was the Star Trek trivia.
nice. Are we gonna make this a thing?
Should we?
That was
Oh,
18 minutes
course.
well spent. I'll say for the future, Bill, maybe have that card ready to go. I understand this was the first time you had to show off the game.
Well, he showed the game. That was part of the.
That was
collection.
the thing. That was the thing.
Isn't this game like incredibly complicated? Like, and I still don't know how to do it. Like,
It seemed
Look up
pretty-
playthrough on YouTube. It's got to be on there.
okay. We'll come back to that on another episode. And get this out of here. I don't know if you guys saw on my social media, I already spilt the beans on what my favorite pickup was. My favorite addition to the collection. Can't say pickup. Was this week. Did you guys happen to see that or no?
I don't go on social media.
I did see this. Yeah, because
You know what that is?
Oh, nice. The little portable record player, huh?
That's right. Got some Big
Big
Bird
Bird.
action
Nice.
nice.
by this company here, Dalen.
Yep, good company.
Good company. Yeah.
Solid craftsmanship on those things.
Well, make fun of Dalen,
Cool.
but this sucker still works. It's from 1983.
Is that battery powered? Oh, you got to plug it in. I see the
Cord.
cord.
Cord comes out of its asshole in the back right there. And
it rocks some 45s.
It'll do 45, it'll do 33, and it's got a little neutral position there, which is nice. And volume control, 100% plastic, luxurious plastic. And for traveling, you have normally your arm would go there, but for traveling, they put this nice built-in holder here, and the needle rests gently in this little recess. And so nothing gets damaged as you travel around with your portable.
Your portable record player that you got to plug in.
You know what? There is DJs, vinyl only DJs, guys that typically spin soul music, R&B, that stuff. They will take those when they go digging for records, looking for stuff that they've never seen or never heard before. So they'll have one of those, a portable record player, and they can modify them. I know this because a buddy of mine did it. He modified that so it has a headphone jack, so you can plug headphones in there and listen to the 45 if it's something he's never heard before.
Wow. Well, this thing does wail pretty good. Like you can check it out on my Twitter. I think I have it playing. I'm playing some ZZ Top Legs, which came out the same year as this, 1983. But yeah, Bandy, we talked about this before because I had a Fisher Price one at one point.
Okay, yeah.
And you were like, yeah, dude, that is easily going to make you some money. And it does. And this sells easily as well. There's tons of them always for sale, around $70.
That's my record player that I use.
Well, it's great. It's like a tank. So good work picking one of those up. Yeah. All right. So that's it. I'll pass the baton after that to Curtis, see what he's brought for the collectors today.
All right. Well, before we begin, even though Bill stole my segment, we all know the collectors is brought to you by 80s and 90s trivia game by Outset. All right. Got some questions for you today. Let's see.
Now remember, I went easy on you.
Oh yeah, you went easy. Okay, here we go. Let's start with Bill. His friends call him Indy, but what did Indiana Jones's father call him? His friends called him Indy, but what did Indiana Jones's father call him?
You
Junior.
were named after the dog.
Junior.
Junior. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
That is correct.
Right on.
All right. This one's for Matt. Music question. What 80s duo had to return their Grammy?
I'm going to say Milli Vanilli.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Milli Vanilli is correct. Back to Bill. What was the name? What was the mailman's name on Seinfeld?
Newman.
That is correct. Matt Bandy, which tropical country made its debut in bobsled at the 1988 Winter Olympics?
That would be Jamaica.
And why do you know that?
Well, because of Cool Runnings.
Exactamundo. All right. And finally, this one's for Bill. In what year was the infamous New Coke launched?
What year?
I know.
Now, I could give you, they have three choices here, but that's
Can I
only if
steal
you
that
want
if he doesn't know it?
Yeah.
Well, I would just have to.
Why don't you both give a guess, and then we'll.
Yeah, I'd have to throw a dart at a board and say, okay, let me think here. What was happening? I'm going to say 89.
In what year was the infamous New Coke launched?
So
Bill says
said
89. What does Matt Bandy say?
I say 1985
And why do you say 1985?
because that's the year it was released.
Well, Matt Bandy, I'm sorry to say, but Bill is incorrect. And you are right. It was 1985. Bill is still terrible.
God damn it.
And that was tonight's edition of 80s and 90s Trivia Game. All right.
I didn't think it was that early. Wow, 85.
So this last weekend, a good buddy of mine, Mr. Chris Roberts, who sometimes guests on this show, used to be a regular. Now he's just a recurring guest star. Came down to spend some time in Los Angeles with me. I'll be honest. He came down to Bandy is hot with all the trivia. Chris came down to watch the Royal Rumble with me because we're both wrestling fans, and the Royal Rumble was last weekend. Disappointing, by the way, for all you wrestling fans out there. But nonetheless, he came down and we wanted to make a whole weekend of it. We ended up only having one day, but we made the most of it. On Saturday, we went to a swap meet. The one that he kind of came up on pretty good last time with those scripts, the Twilight Zone script and the Family Matter script. Went to that, got there at the crack of dawn. We got there at like 6 a.m. And it was a bit of a bust this time. Not going to lie. I did find one thing. Excuse me. I found a cassette tape, Billy Joel, Greatest Hits. So I showed this off. Everybody seemed to be showing some pickups on Twitter last weekend. And so I threw this one out there to, feed my ego and get some love from Mother Brain.
Hey, Melissa.
See you, Melissa. Billy Joel was too much for her. Look at how many songs. How many songs are on one side?
Yeah, that's packed in there.
It's packed in there. Haven't given this one a listen yet, but pretty excited about that. Got it for $1, so I went over, and this table had a bunch of cassette tapes. Nothing of note, but they had this one kind of tucked in there, and I was like, oh, well, how much is it? And in my head, I was like, I will not pay more than $1 for this. I was like, how much is the tape? $2. Put it back. She's like, $1. All right, I guess I'll take it. Thank you very much. Here's $1. And that was pretty much that. Between the two of us, that was the only thing that was purchased at the swap meet. A little bit of a disappointment. Yeah. But we left pretty early. We got there at 6. I think we were out of there by like 7:30. We kind of did, we did the rounds and kind of got the lay of the land. And we're like, I don't think it's going to get much better than this. What can you do? So we made our way over to this place that we've mentioned before, Frank & Sons collectible show.
Oh, nice.
Andy, you're familiar with that? And had some luck at this one. This is if you don't know what this is, it's like a giant indoor swap meet, but it's all pop culture stuff. So video games, toys, movies, vinyl, anything.
It's pretty
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, it's not your grandma's antique store. This is all really fun stuff.
It can be kind of overwhelming, but
yeah. If I was a kid and my parents took me there, my brain would have exploded. It is so packed full of stuff. It's like Toys R Us on crack. It's really cool. And so I found some stuff there. There was one thing, Chris and I always talk about manifesting. Technically there were 2 things I was going for, but there was one thing that I knew that would be there. Oh, Chris is watching. Hey, what's up, Chris? Yeah. Oh, yeah. And tons of pop figures. Oh, my gosh. There's like 6 or 7 different stage booths or whatever that are all pop figures. It's gross. So if you love pop, go to Frank & Sons. But there was one thing I had in my brain, like, I'm going to go find this and I want to get it. And I went up. They had it at a couple booths, actually. One booth had it for $30. Another booth, I'm sure, had it for even more because that booth was ridiculously priced. But the particular booth I was going towards, I went to that one and I said, how much is this item? And the guy said $5. And before I could even say anything else, Chris Roberts had like a 5 out and he's like, I'll take one. And boom, gets it. Because it's a good deal. Good deal. And that was this. The Classic 5 of 1998.
Oh, cool.
WWF home video. So you get the Royal Rumble, Royal Rumble Rumble, Survivor Series, King of the Ring, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, all the big pay-per-views from 1998. So if you're like a Stone Cold Attitude Era fan,
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
this is the one to get. Really fun. $5. So that comes out to $1 a tape. And look at this. Sealed. But as we all know, Wolf Reisel doesn't like his stuff sealed. Especially these, because I'm gonna be watching these. So would you indulge me? I
guess. Just wrestling. So,
Look at that. Bill, I know you're excited. Oh. Look at that.
Well, at least Chris Roberts didn't like body check you to get his.
Well, they had more than one. They had more than one, and we each got one. Oh, that is tight. Look at that. I barely get anything out. Oh. Ah. Oh, got it. All right, let's go through these really quick. Royal Rumble, 98. Fun stuff.
Does it have the main event on there?
Well, this is, I mean, the Royal Rumble is the main event, but were you talking about something else?
Oh, sorry. No. I didn't realize that was a Royal Rumble.
Oh, yeah. Royal Rumble. WrestleMania, which this is the one with Mike Tyson, Austin. And
he reffed it, right?
Michaels. He was the enforcer. He wasn't the ref. He was the special enforcer. King of the Ring, 98. Very famous one. This has the Hell in the Cell, the famous Hell in the Cell with Mankind and The Undertaker.
That's so gnarly. So
that's a big one. SummerSlam 98, which is Undertaker and Austin. As a kid, I was the biggest Undertaker fan, and I remember my brother was really into Stone Cold. I mean, Stone Cold's awesome, and I love Stone Cold, but I so wanted the Undertaker to beat Stone Cold at SummerSlam. My dreams were for naught. But good ladder match between Triple H and The Rock. And then Survivor Series, which this is the Deadly Games. Not a single traditional Survivor Series match in this one, but this is where The Rock first won his first WWF title. So right here. Piece of history. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, everyone.
He was in Voyager. Star Trek Voyager.
He was in Voyager. And then it spells out this nice little classic 5 on the thing. I'll put it away in a sec. And then a couple more things I got at Frank & Sons. The other thing that I wanted to manifest, so I was manifesting, I want that classic 5 tape set to be there. Boom. Oh, what? I ain't tight. What are you talking about? The other thing I was manifesting was, my newest passion is what? Collecting
VHS.
Well, VHS, but also something
Star Wars.
There you go.
Oh,
Star Wars.
Yeah.
And one of the ones I've been having trouble locating was Chewbacca. So I put it in my brain. And once you know it, bam, I found a Chewie. But
nice.
As we all know, you gotta if you're gonna get some figures, you gotta wheel and deal. You gotta do a bundle deal, right? So I find doing 3 often results in a nice bundle. And this guy was power of the roids. This guy was willing to wheel and deal. Look at how buff he is. I'll open him in a sec, but look at that.
Is it? There's no flocking on there. It's just plastic, right?
Yeah, it's just plastic. Yeah. So I bundled it with a couple other ones. Another one I needed. R2D2. So this is the greenback one, not the as opposed to the like orange back. But R2D2 was one of the OG, like the original series ones. But I don't know what is possibly different about it. Maybe the eye thing. I don't know. But I was like, I'll take that one.
Make him look buff.
Dude, he is. Look at that. Are you kidding? He's shredded. He is yoked. R2D2 been lifting some pipes in the trash compactor. And then the last one. Can't go wrong with little Leia, slave Leia.
Whips and chains.
Yeah, about to choke a Jabba. A lot of kids choked a Jabba to this figure, I'm sure.
Hey-o.
Hey. So while the next guys go, I'll crack those open. And that was all I got. It was a pretty cheap day for the old wallet, which I liked, but I came away with stuff that I had my eye on. So, and then Chris, I'll let him when he comes on again. He's the one that really came up. He's got some good stories to tell, but I will just leave it there, and he can tell those stories next time he comes on. But some good stuff.
Well, he's got to come back. Chris Roberts just has to come back.
I know.
Come on.
We also went to a brewery that day, actually really close to where I live. Is that McLeod Ale Brewing Company?
Yeah.
And they gave us some complimentary ale, and it's delicious. And they had pizza there, and their pizza is out of control good. Really, it's in Van Nuys, California, and they one of the employees they like help they create pizzas. So like every month or something, like one of the employees gets to kind of craft their own pizza, and then if it's popular enough, maybe they put it on the menu. I forget what the rules are. But anyway, this one employee came around with it was like a pastrami sandwich pizza.
Ooh.
So it was like, I think they had bacon on there. I'm not sure if it was actual pastrami, because the I guess the rule of thumb is you get to get one ingredient that isn't from that they don't already have on site. And they had two on there, or they used pickles, which weren't on the menu yet, but they were gonna like pickle their own. Anyway, it was a pastrami sandwich pizza. It was like mustard and pickle and pastrami and cheese. It was delicious. We had a pizza there, which was really good. It was like a spicy Italian pizza. I'm telling you, I wish I could have ordered this pastrami one. It was mustard on pizza. Who knew? Delicious.
Yeah.
It works. It's the weirdest thing.
Pastrami's delicious.
It was so good. Oh, I'm going to go back there. It's really close. It's like a mile away. So, yeah, if you ever are in Van Nuys, California, check out McLeod Ale.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Well, we do have Chris Roberts in the chat. Duke's here, and Danielle is back. It's good to see her. And yes, Curtis is kind of small. I don't think you'd notice in the camera, but.
All right. I think talking about R2, right? R2?
Yes, of course. Of course. Now, don't forget, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Lots more fun stuff coming. We do have stuff in the mailbag to get to. You guys don't let me forget that. Okay, that's your job. Don't let me forget the mail. And yeah, Matt, why don't you take it away?
Speaking of the mailbag, do you want to show the mail that I sent?
Yeah, I guess that would make sense. Hold on. Let me get things organized here. Well, I might as well do the whole mailbag segment, or else my pictures are all going to be out of order and it could be a disaster. So let me just cue things up here.
Sure.
Stand by. I'm working on it.
I can talk about. No, I am going to go, but he's going to show some. I sent some mail to the show for some of the locations that I was at in Texas.
Oh,
yeah. Bandy's mail came at the end of this massive mail stream we had. So let's get the first ones out of the way. First, from our longtime follower Bill from Toronto, sent us some more pictures of his collection, and he's got some great stuff. And Curtis, you're gonna like this.
Oh, is that the figure holder? You open it up.
That is the figure holder right there. Yeah. So you know that's the OG one.
Oh, of course.
Gotta assume.
My friend had that growing up, and I always thought that was the coolest thing. It was, I don't know if it was his dad's or how he had it, but yeah. I think, wasn't there another one? Was there like a C-3PO one or something too?
I know in modern times there is.
Okay. I feel like he had two, something like that.
Okay. He let us take a peek into it.
Oh, look at that. So he's got Lobot and Bib Fortuna.
Did Obi-Wan, he print off?
Bunch of Bosk, C-3PO, Dengar.
I don't know. Luke Skywalker looks a little different to me.
Yeah.
Princess Leia up here in the
Wow.
Bespin gown.
Oh yeah, spot on.
So yeah, he made a point to mention because Curtis brought up Bosk, and he's
Yeah,
got 3
boss
of them.
shit.
Who got 3 of them? Lando.
That's cool. What else you
I
got?
don't know. Look how shiny C-3PO is.
Yeah, got Tusken Raider, and what is that? Something from the cantina. Then he's got the
That's the,
guard from one of Jabba's like guards at the Sarlacc pit.
The Snaggletooth
Oh.
there. On the red
Yeah.
guy, Snaggletooth.
Yeah.
And for the collectors out there, the blue one, that's the one you want to get. That's the expensive one.
And then what is that? An Endor rebel soldier or something? And then
This Han Solo.
yeah, no, Hammerhead.
What about this guy?
Rebel commander or something? I don't know.
Who's this guy? Snazzy
J.D.
dresser.
Williams?
I don't know. That doesn't. Yeah.
So, anyways, he sent
What
us
else
that.
he got? Come on, there's another row.
He didn't send us the other side
Oh,
here.
we can see their feet. It looks
I
like.
know.
How dare he? Why would he do that? Oh,
Is that
okay.
Imperial Trooper? The red guy with the cape?
Oh,
I don't know. It looks like maybe
Or the Imperial
Leia
Guard?
actually in the. I don't know. I think that's Leia in the Bespin gown or whatever. Actually, because the they didn't have feet like that.
storage chamber.
The royal guards, that wasn't their feet.
A little dainty.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little dainty.
So yeah, he must be saving it for us. He's gonna send us more pictures at some point. And then he also sent us a question. This has to do with the next picture. If your mother back in the day when you were a kid took all of your collector cards and put a hole in them, was she helping you or was it a disaster? Because she did this.
Oh no. That's not a bad idea. You know, that mom was probably sick and tired of picking up all those damn cards over the place. So I don't blame her.
He still got them after all these years.
That's not bad.
That is pretty cool though, because it does look like the whole set. And man, if there's one way to keep it all together.
That's cool.
Okay. So it's cool, but probably a problem.
I just want to point out too that Duke said that those figures were much cooler than the Power of the Force ones. And if we can just remove Duke from the chat for the rest of this evening,
Yeah,
I don't think
if he's an issue, we can.
I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
Okay, Matt Bandy, ready for the next picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so can you zoom in on that a little bit? This is in downtown Denton, which is about 45 to an hour north of Dallas. There's this amazing shop called Recycled Books, Records, and CDs. And going there, I only thought it was a bookstore. And I get there and it's records, CDs, toys, VHS. It's pretty much everything that I love is in one spot. And it is really, really good. I spent a couple hours in there, and I got some cool books in there. I didn't pick up any records. I didn't even look through the records because I just didn't. I was there to get books. I didn't want to focus in on any records. But it's an awesome shop.
Wow, you prioritized books over records. What books did you get?
Well, you'll see. But I honestly I didn't buy any records just because we didn't have a lot of luggage with us, and
it's hard to
taking
travel
records home. I've done it before and I don't like doing that. So I was kind of a little limited on my space, but that's an awesome shop.
Actually, it's funny you should say that. I have this specifically for traveling.
Oh, nice. Yeah, record mailer. Mm-hmm. That's a good idea.
Just to keep in my luggage.
So this is right across the street from the record shop. There's I don't know if this is like a Texas thing, but there is a lot of buildings have these enormous sprawling murals on them that are just absolutely gorgeous. And I sent this, I think, did I send this to you, Bill? Or I was going to, because I wasn't really sure who the guy on the motorcycle was. It kind of had a folk singer vibe to it. I don't know if that's supposed to be Dylan, but
Looks like Roy Orbison and Arnold Schwarzenegger had a baby.
yeah,
Yeah. He's a little too rough and tough for Bob, but he's got the harmonica, he's got the guitar.
yeah,
But that bike is not a Bob bike.
yeah.
Bob drives Triumphs. We all know that.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the lady is behind them either.
It's a chopper. Get to the chopper.
It's just, I thought that was a cool thing.
Yeah.
And I probably should have asked, who the hell's on that building, but I didn't.
Should have asked Andy.
I love when they do that though on buildings. Like they take a boring wall.
Oh man, yeah, they're all over the place there. They're
put a mural on it. That's one thing I got to say about like American architecture in general is it's so lame compared to some other countries. Like in Jamaica, their houses are like pink and orange and yellow. Like they're really fun colors. And then you come here and everyone's got, boring like white, gray, brown, Anyway, sorry, sidebar.
So this is in front of a record store called Born Late that's in Fort Worth. And this is, I don't know if it's owned by, but some of the employees play in a band called The Obsessed, which is an old school doom metal band. As members of, there's another guy that works there who he plays in a band from Texas called Solitude Eternus, and these are kind of big doom bands. It was an awesome shop, and I did pick up a few things there, but there had a few murals or paintings out front in the building. And there's another one which okay. So this is on the side of the building. This is me and my buddy Mike, and you can see the logo there. It's kind of like almost like a Van Halen rip off there. But that's on the side of the building. So he was kind of my guide through Fort Worth while we were there.
Next one.
Yeah. So when I walked up, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's awesome!"
Yeah.
So that's a picture of a hastronaut from the latest Sleep record from the Clarity, or not the Clarity, rather Sciences.
That's pretty cool.
That's on the outside of the building.
That's right in the front of the building.
So they have all these murals.
Yeah, so there's in between them. It's the entrance, the door entrance. So it's on either left and right side of it. And there was a Van Halen one, and there was another one of Cliff Burton, like a famous picture of Cliff. But I didn't take a picture of it. I'm not sure if that's all of them. Oh, okay. So this was inside the record store. I saw that, and so that's a Pantera record. That was the first record that they had, I believe the first one that Phil Anselmo sang on. And this era of Pantera is kind of, I'm not familiar with it. I've never heard these records before because they kind of tried to sweep those records under the rug. This was a little more glam metal. This was before they became more heavy metal and more raw and harsh. You can see the price tag on that. So that's signed by all the members of the band, and that record alone is hard to find because it's out of print, and that's signed by all the guys. And two of the members of that band are dead now. So, it was I saw that was pretty cool that it was signed by everybody in the band.
Wow.
They had three records before their commercial breakout, which was Cowboys from Hell. And it was when most people, when they think of Pantera, like, oh, that's their first record. But there was a couple more before where they sounded a little more glam.
That's awesome.
So yeah, That was
All
pretty
right.
cool. And Pantera being a Texas band.
Why make the price $1,099? Why not just
I don't
make it
know.
$999.99? Why
Yeah.
1,000? Why push it that extra digit?
They never
Like,
got to use all the digits on the gun before.
1,000
I'm hoping
is
it's
like-
not.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm hoping it's not $10,000. I don't know. I didn't ask.
That's true. Is there another one? Another picture?
I don't know.
Nope.
Oh, look at
Okay.
us.
That's what
Oh,
we're doing.
no.
Hey,
I
Okay.
will show. I'll go ahead and show. Thanks for showing those, Bill. That's
Thanks for sending them. That looked awesome.
Yeah. So the first things I'm going to show here actually didn't come from any of the places that I showed, but have you guys ever heard of Half Price Books?
love that place.
Okay. Yeah. So I'd never been to one before, but there was one close to where we were staying, and that's another story that I'd seen before on other YouTubers and people talking about it, friends that talked about it. So that store is awesome too. Have you been in one of those before?
Only
yeah.
heard the stories.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
it's like a
awesome.
Goodwill without the bullshit.
yeah. I walked in too, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know they had records. I knew they had games and stuff, but I walk in and immediately to my left is a bunch of records and CDs and VHS. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I ended up only picked up two things from there. I got two VHS. The VHS were a little bit, they weren't too overpriced, but they weren't like $1 a piece. So I kind of limited myself. But I picked up The Return to Fly with Vincent Price.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I've actually never seen this one before.
Yeah,
I
I
love
haven't
I love the original Fly with Vincent Price, but
Yeah.
I've never seen this one before. And they had the little horror sticker on there.
Mhm.
So yeah. And then I picked up a movie called The Deep. Have you guys heard this?
I've heard of it,
This
never
is
seen it.
Nick Nolte. I think it's the same writer as Jaws, or like the book author. I think it's
Peter
based on
Benchley?
one of his stories. Yeah.
Mm.
But so it says Louis Gossett, Nick Nolte, but a lot of like horror collectors seem to kind of like this. I don't consider it a horror movie, I don't think, but it's kind of
And
that
Robert
suspense.
Shaw. Let's not forget about him.
Yeah. Peter Benchley's. Yeah. So this is another Peter Benchley story.
Because that connects it to Jaws, Robert Shaw.
There you go.
He's Quint.
There you go. So yeah, pick this one up too. I was happy to get that.
Beauty.
Yeah, and actually, I picked up a DVD from there too, but it's in my DVD player right now. I picked up They Live by John Carpenter. They had that for like $5, and I was I've been looking for that forever, and could never find it. And anytime I go to a store like that, I always look to see if they have They Live, and there it was. So I was psyched on that. That's
I
a
love
hard
that
one
movie
to
so
find.
much.
Yeah,
So
I'd love
good.
to have that on VHS, but just having a copy of that so I can watch it is I'm happy with. So I will get into let's see. I'll show a couple books that I got. So these that I picked up from the recycled store. So the first one I found was a collection of Fritz Lieber stories. So this is a collection of he has like these sword and sorcery characters called I believe it's pronounced Favard and the Grey Mouser. So it's like a barbarian guy and a thief, and it's their adventures together. I've only read a little bit of those stories, but this collects the first 4, I believe, in the series.
Did you know about this book before you found it? Were you like looking for it?
No, I always have a list of authors that I'm looking for, and I have it written down on a list, and it's always in my wallet. So when I go to bookstores, I look for authors. I don't necessarily look for book titles. I'll look for just things that they wrote. And I've never come across the first book in this series, so I have been kind of holding off reading it. And while this is a collection of the first 4, and I'd like to get the individual books. which this one here is an individual. This is the fifth book in the series, so I was able to, I got that, and I had a few already, but it was like just a couple random in the series. So I was happy to find this, so I can finally start reading the series. And yeah,
How's the spines on those bad boys?
no, it's fine, not broken at all.
Nice.
So this one's looks like a newer collection, but this here is a vintage book. This is probably from I'm guessing from either the late 70s, early 80s.
Oh, I love the font on that one.
Yeah, that's great. Those old a lot of these books from that.
Is that a
time
deal
period are
breaker
so
if there's a break in the spine for you?
No, not really. A deal breaker for me is like the pages, if they're like
Loose.
loose or falling out, and that's a deal breaker.
Or super
for me.
yellow?
Yeah, the yellow, that doesn't really bother me too much. Actually, it's kind of easier on my eyes when I'm reading it. It's not that glare.
Yeah.
That's true. We get yellow
Yeah.
paper to print stuff instead of on white paper because it's easier to read.
Yeah.
I thought it was all the bathrooms those books have been in turned them yellow.
Okay. All right. And then so this next author I've never read before, and it was recommended to me years ago, and I've never been able to find his stuff, and I guess his stuff's kind of hard to come by. It's name of the author is Lord Dunassay. This is another fantasy writer too. I believe he's English. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I picked up, so I haven't been able to find any of these for years. I've been looking for his stuff, and I got two of his books. So one is called The Sharwoodman's Shadow, and this one is The King of Elfland's Daughter. It's got some kind of psychedelic 70s art on that too.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know much about this author, but I've been looking for his stuff for a while, and I'm happy to find these two books. And then what do we always need more of?
Star Trek?
Moorcock.
Yeah, you need some more cock.
God damn it. How did I forget that?
So this is
Bandy's talking
the
about books.
Rituals of Infinity. Look at that. You got that. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've never seen this title before. Don't know much about this book.
You'd think the book was titled Moorcock, and the subtitle is the way that it's written. It looks like the book was written by Michael. The title of the book is Moorcock, and the subtitle is like Moorcock, the Rituals of Infinity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a little more science fiction, or what do they call it? Sword and Planet, I believe. So instead of sword and sorcery, you got some of the kind of the medieval, the fantasy vibes, but in space, kind of. I believe this is kind of what this title is going to be. And he's written some of that stuff before, but yeah, I was pumped to find that. Those were all the books that I found in that shop. But yeah, I was super happy to get those. There was some others that I would have liked to pick up too, but like I said, I was kind of limited on space. So I will show two more things here, and then I'll pass it on. So the two things that I did the two things that I did get at that record store were not records; they were cassettes. So I picked up Manowar's Into Glory Ride. This is their second release. This is obviously on cassette. This is a hard release of theirs to find, especially on vinyl. Vinyl, it's pretty pricey, and even on CD, it's kind of hard to come across. It's not on any of the streaming services because of the record label that put this out. They put out, it seemed like quite a few of their records were split through different companies. record labels, and for some reason, this has just never got a proper repress, and it's not on the streaming services. I used to have a digital format of this years ago, but that has since been lost into the ether somewhere. And so I was pumped to find this, because I didn't have a physical format of this. And what's kind of ironic is yesterday I found a cheap copy of this CD version on Discogs for like $6, and I paid 20 for this. And for me to shell out $20 for a tape, that's quite a bit.
Dang, really? So they knew what they had then.
Yeah, no, and yeah, with it being a Megaforce release, I think this might have had another tape release under a different record label, but yeah, this one's tough to find. The record commands like three digits, $100, $100 plus from what I've seen. And
well, technically that is three figures, right?
Three figures, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is probably my favorite Manowar release, and so yeah, I was super happy to find that. And then I ended up getting another Manowar tape too, the Triumph of Steel. This was their 7th release, I believe, and that kind of sent me on a path to now I'm trying to collect Manowar tapes and get at least the first 6 records. That was something I hadn't planned on doing, but
you slipped on the slope.
I did. I got coming in the mail right now too. So, and a couple that I'm watching. But luckily, this was like $5-6. So yeah, I'm excited to have these. If you're not familiar with Manowar, they are a U.S. power metal band. They had a much bigger following in Europe than they ever did in the United States. I didn't find out about this band until I was a little bit deeper into heavy metal, and they are not everybody's cup of tea. This was released in '92, I believe, and this style of metal in 1992 was definitely not cool. And the fact that they were still doing this was pretty awesome. But yeah, I love this stuff. I have, yeah, it's awesome. So those were the 2 cassettes I picked up, saving some space. Couldn't buy any records, so I got cassettes instead.
They just black cassettes in there?
This one's just the kind of clear, and the other is white. This also has a black tape release as well.
Well,
so if you guys want some homework, go listen to some Manowar. Tell me what you think.
Well, I'd love to, but they're not on any streaming service.
They are. This
they jumped on the Neil Young train, and I can't find them on Spotify.
This is not on Spotify. This was the only record that's not on Spotify.
But the rest of them are.
Yeah, this one, no streaming service has this because it's. I don't know if it's because whoever has the rights to it don't put it on there. The band doesn't even have rights to that release, I believe. So wow. It's kind of weird in that weird limbo.
Yeah.
They look like they influenced Tenacious D quite a bit.
Yeah, a little bit. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are you guys ready for the celebrity guest appearance?
Oh my goodness.
Week? Always.
Do you think you can handle it? I'm not sure if you can handle it. It's a pretty big deal. This guy is a pillar in the community. He was late because he was, doing the red ribbon opening up a mall in a big city. So he had to get through the crowd to get back to his house to make it on the stream here. So he's busy. He's always busy. But we got him for this show, The Collectors, just for you guys, just for you, the audience. So don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe, because where else are you going to see a high caliber celebrity like this? Like, where else can you get a guy that has such an affinity for kitchen architecture and set pieces? But my friend Eric, right there.
Oh, what?
Hey. Hello, collectors.
Oh my goodness, Bill, you weren't kidding.
No.
I think Bill sold me up a bit.
I thought it was
What?
going to be Josh again.
Went
Bill,
right for
how's
the
the
big
audio?
time.
Is there echo or anything?
No, you're good.
Sound great.
Well, you're in that giant cavernous house, but that's part of the charm is that echo. So,
Yeah.
Well, I am thrilled to be here. Thanks for inviting me on.
hey, thanks for coming. Hey, you know what? I wanted to surprise you guys, but I'm actually in the Q Dog house myself.
Oh, if you really wanted to pull that off, though, Bill, you would have done it in front of the range hood thing or whatever.
I'm not that smart, but you know,
Just like they do on their green screen.
yeah, exactly. Well, Eric, it's good to see you. Thanks so much for making some time for us tonight on the Collectors. I know you've been showing off some choo-choo trains, and I've been dying to see some close-up looks of your mighty train collection. At least, maybe you'll show that. I don't know. You can show whatever you want,
but you wanted to see the trains, right? That's why you invited me on.
I think he called them choo-choo trains.
Choo-choos, yeah.
Choo-choos. All right. Well, you want me to jump right into it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as you can see behind me, I have a Lionel set. We got the kids Lionel trains, or Santa got the kids Lionel trains a year ago in 2020 when we were at home for Christmas because of the travel.
The kids.
And we that was the first Christmas we spent at home in the Q Dog house. We normally travel to Chicago, and the kids got some trains, and those are packed away. But I do have I got into the train set quite a bit, and I decided to get a special anniversary collection. I'm going to grab it. I'm sorry, it's behind me, but basically, Lionel was doing last year, or 2020 was Lionel's 120th anniversary, and they were doing a special set that called back to their 1950s era trains. And I remember my grandfather had some like this in his basement, and they weren't being used or anything at that point. But I always kind of remembered the Lionel trains, and kind of got into it when I saw that they had this set that was reminiscent of the stuff from their post-war era, the 1950s. And so I bought what is their 120th anniversary set, and it calls back to one of their most famous train models. And that, I'm going to hold it up here for you in the camera. And that is this is a Santa Fe with the war bonnet paint scheme F3. And this is a callback to one of their most famous models that they had. And but it's updated with modern electronics. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to show you. These things are quite substantial.
So Lionel refers to the size of the train. Is that correct?
No, it's actually the company name is Lionel, and they're predominantly known for this size, which is called O gauge.
Okay, my dad has that from his childhood. He still has. It's not the entire set, but he has like a full train and part of the tracks.
Yeah. The old, so Lionel may have standardized this O gauge. I don't have any of the original track, but you guys have probably seen it's like this 3-rail metal track. Mm-hmm. They've since updated it to something called Easy Track or Fast Track. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to grab a piece here.
The size of the track that my dad has, I can't imagine it would be huge to take up, like, to have like a big track. It would be enormous.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Here's the track that they have now. It's a 3-rail track. They have this new Fast Track, which it's snapped together, and it's got the bed on it, which is really nice for just laying down, and putting on the floor.
Is that beveled? Looks like it's like raised a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So I wish I could show you the original track. I don't have anything like that, but the scale is pretty big. Now, you guys may remember or be more familiar with Tycho. I have a bunch of that back here too, which we can get to if you want. But those were HO scale, which is half of O, which would be like the distance between these two rails. And I can hold up a maybe I'll show you in comparison. But yeah, these are the big old trains from that went back 120 years. So the turn of the 20th century. And
so are you saying you can run both sizes on that track?
I don't know. I think they physically would fit on the track. I don't know. I don't really know. I haven't really tried. But when it comes to the scale of them, there's O, which is this size, and then there's HO, which is roughly half this size, or half, I suppose. But yeah, but they're pretty substantial. This thing probably weighs about 4 pounds, and
All metal.
it's well, the shell I think is plastic, but there is a lot of metal in here, and it's got. I'm going to show you the bottom of it. The pickups, and Matt, if you've seen your dad's trains, you're probably familiar with this. The two outer rails are neutral or ground, and the power comes from this third pickup right in the middle here. And so they have these other pickups on the bottom, and you can see here in the middle there's a speaker. So this thing has sound. It'll do engine sounds. It'll do crew announcements. There's some lights. And with all the modern electronics, I can control it with my phone. I also have a wireless controller, a universal controller that I can actually control up to 3 different locomotives on it. So I have my locomotive and then the kids' locomotive, and we can control both with this. So in the old days, you had the big transformers and you had to, plug them in. This is, I don't know, solid 18 volt. It's not an analog, it's a digital system. So it's a solid 18 volt. And it does smoke and it does sound and it does lights. And the couplers on these engines, the couplers are automatic. So I can hit this button here and decouple the front and back couplers. And so it's pretty nice. And it's a nice size. And yeah, it takes up a lot of space. I don't have it. I've got it on the floor in the dining room, much to Melissa's dismay. Yeah. And,
do you have any plans to build a set or build like a platform or a raised platform to put your trains on, or like a dedicated spot for it?
Well,
you do.
We don't.
Yeah.
In spite of Bill's boasting about the size of my house, we don't really have a lot of space for it. I've got it on the floor in the dining room, and the only reason I've got it there is because we don't have any dining room furniture right now. There's room upstairs in the kids' playroom, but the kids are using that. We don't have basements here in Oregon, so normally it would go in a basement. I don't have anything like that. Some people have made lowering and raising tables like in their garage, like they can put them on ropes and they can raise them and lower. I don't know. The short answer is no, I don't have any plans. What I've been doing is taking this track, which just snaps together, and I put it together around Christmas. And it stays on the floor for a while. And I've been putting them away, and I'm trying to find space. I've got some shelves like this. Where am I pointing? Up here to the up here. I have some over on the other side of the room. You can't see. Right now they're full of amiibos. I may get rid of those and put the trains up there.
What you could do, Eric, is elevate it. Like
that's what I'm thinking.
You can run it along your house.
You know what I'm thinking? Walls. If you want to get rid of some of those amiibos, though, maybe call me first.
Okay.
We're talking about trains here.
We have.
This is part of the train discussion. We're trying to make room for Eric to display his trains. That's what we all want. We all want the same thing.
We all want the same thing. Sure. Yeah, I knew some kids when I was growing up. Our neighbors that had their father was into both this O gauge and the smaller gauge. And what he had done is he had taken a shelf and put it all the way around, maybe a foot below their ceiling, and run a track all the way around their bedroom. And I've seen stuff like that too, where the train just runs along a track near the ceiling.
You can make a couple, train tunnels, knock out a couple of walls.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have the conductor hat, Eric?
Huh?
Do you have the conductor hat?
No, not yet. That's
you got the overalls right around the corner.
I don't have any apparel yet, but I'm getting there. We'll see. I'm running out of space to store the stuff. I don't have space to
I could definitely see that raised shelf idea. Like we had back home, there was a dairy, and they had one of those raised platforms, went all through the dairy, all around. And I remember as a kid how fun it was going there and just seeing that train going around the ceiling, back and forth, and all around through the walls. And I mean, with your Gothic cathedral ceilings, surely there's enough room for
All right. Yeah, sure. Well, I'll let you know. Bill, you'll be the first to know if I put trains running through the walls and on the ceiling.
That'll be
Actually,
great.
I suppose Melissa will be the first to know, but
But your kids are really into the trains too, huh?
no, not really.
Oh,
No.
well.
I mean, we got them trains. They got the Polar Express.
Yeah.
My littlest, she likes it a little. But I'm going to take this opportunity too to show you the other one I got. I've been buying some new trains, and every time I do, only the littlest shows any interest. This is an HO scale. This is a Japanese company.
Oh yeah, that's
and
a
I
Kato.
just want to bring this up for scale. Now, this is a train I have shown off recently on Twitter, and it's special to me because these are the commuter trains that ran through my town when I was growing up. And so I did just get
Amtrak.
Huh?
Oh, nice!
It's like
Is it
Amtrak.
Nice. Yeah, the Metro. Yeah.
Do you know this, Matt?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So this says Village of Winfield, this is on the line that the hometown I grew up in would be on. Now, so this is an HO scale. This is a very nice model too, by a Japanese company. So I just got this. The kids didn't really express an interest, but for comparison, I'm going to hold these two up if I can, and just sort of show you what kind of sizes we're talking about in terms of the difference. Now these are.
Whoa.
I'm not using a perspective trick here. These are right on top of each other. So it's quite a bit. It's quite a bit, more substantial. I don't know if that helps, but I don't know what my point was. The kids, they.
How I feel at
I've
the
got
gym.
them up set up, and they're okay with it. But mostly it's the little who likes it the most.
Did you get it? Did that come with any of the cars that?
I did buy. It didn't come with it. These were all purchased individually. I do have a car. I've ended up buying 3 cars and then what's called a cab coach, which is basically the car at the end that happens to have a place for a driver to be when the train's going in reverse. And then I bought lighting kits for them, and they look. I think I did put something on Twitter about the lighting kit. I do have the passenger
nice.
coach.
Yeah. That's cool.
So. I really like this set. It just reminds me of the trains I took as a boy.
Yeah, that's what I would take from Tinley Park to get into the city.
Yeah. So you're familiar with it. So yeah, I don't know. This is a Japanese set or company. They typically make. You mentioned the space, Matt. This is an HO. This is like the Taiko trains from like the 80s that I grew up with. This is the size. But because this is a Japanese company and space is a premium in Japan, they actually specialize in N scale, which is another smaller, half this size again. And those modelers in Japan and other places with limited space really like, because you can put a lot of train scenery in a small area because the scale is generally smaller.
Is that only available in Japan, that scale? I've never heard of that before.
No, you can get it here. It's not very popular in the U.S. from what I can tell. Mostly HO is the most popular. And then people who grew up with Lionel, like your father or Mother Brain or Duke's grandfather, the trains from the 50s are the O scale. But I'm going to stick with O and HO because I grew up with HO and my grandfather had O. And I just like how, meaty this thing is. This is quite an engine. And I've got some cars back there. If I can show off whatever you'd like or nothing.
So the giant Lionel anniversary set you got, it was more than just the engine.
That's right. It came with this, which is the locomotive. It came with a dummy, which I loved. I just love the idea of sort of 2 locomotives, one going forward, one going back. This doesn't have any drive capability. It's just there for looks. And then if you want, I can show you some. Would you like me to show some of the other cars?
Yes.
Yeah. No. Eric, is there a local hobby shop that carries trains in your area, or are you ordering these all online?
There is a local shop. I've been to it a few times, and their train selection is pretty limited. So anytime I go in there, I'm like, yeah, okay. And I end up walking out. Most of these things I have ordered from online. Some of it I can get from Amazon. But the big place that I get it is a place called trainworld.com. And they're actually located in New York. They're in Brooklyn. And so I'm having this stuff shipped cross country. I try to place big orders so I save on the shipping. But this Lionel set I got this Metro train, I got mostly through them. So that's mostly where I've been getting it. And I can get some stuff on Amazon. The set also included this is a milk car. It's a refrigerated box car for holding milk. Again, styled after apparently a car that was released in 1947. You can see, whoops, I got it wrong here. This 120 means the 120th anniversary, and the original year was 1947. I can't really show you because it's not electrified right now or powered up, but it's got a little. There's these little milk. There's these little milk containers that you load in here, and then when you put the car over. There's an activator here somewhere. Oh, it's here. There's these little pickups on the trucks, and if you put it over a special kind of track called an activator track and hit the button, these doors will pop open. See if I can force it to pop open. These doors will pop open, and the little guy pops out, and he'll drop the milk containers off. So I thought that was a neat.
Oh, really? It does like a mechanical thing.
Yeah, yeah.
The dude comes out.
You give it a little and it buzzes. It really is like 1950 technology. You hit the button, it goes, bzzz, and then the little guy will pop out and kind of throw these milk carts. And my finger's in the way. Throw these milk containers, and one's gonna fall.
Is that a common feature on these things?
What, to have these active cars?
Yeah.
Some of them. There's a few. One of the other cars that came with it, if you'll pardon my going back to get it. One of the other cars is a log car, and it will. It also has a mechanism where. So here's the log car that came with it. And this is one of the reasons I like this set because it was so varied. And these are made out of wood. And then at the bottom, I'm not going to let these spill. At the bottom, there's a little plunger, and if you pull the plunger, there's some tracks have magnets in them, and if you pull the plunger, it'll dump the logs into a little bin. And so, in the old days, you'd load the car up over this magnet, electromagnet, and you'd hit the little button, and it would, pull this down, and the logs would dump into a little bin. So yeah, so they have all different kinds of things. This set has a bunch of different ones. There's an auto carrier, which has these. You can see the style of the car on here.
Are those like? Can you roll those? Do those work? The car? Yeah,
they roll. They're pretty. They're not. I'm sorry. They're not even as good as like a Matchbox car.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll roll, and it's just a nice variety of cars. And so it was a really nice set. I thought, it had the modern locomotive with lights and all that stuff. And there's a nice silver tank car that came with it. So yeah, it's just a really nice detailed.
You got to build a track. You got to have a big.
Scale.
Yeah, man. Get rid of those amiibos.
Cut a hole in the center. You can sit in the center of it.
I'm with Matt, man.
I would have a blast.
Get rid of everything except the trains.
I never said that.
Well, I'm filling in the blanks.
You know what? You can build a garage first and another outdoor building.
I have
got
keys.
spare houses.
So we have the backyard that Bill wants to camp out in, and Home Depot or whoever will sell these like really big sheds, that you like these prefab, 20 by 20 foot, sheds or something like that. And I thought, they're only like 20 grand, Melissa. We have one dropped off. We'll put it in the backyard, run some power to it.
And you can get all my stuff out of here, all the trains out of here. You don't got to worry about them, see them.
Yeah. Don't tempt me, but no. I don't know. The best place to do it in this house is up in the kids' playroom. So maybe when they move out, but that's still not going to be for years. So now I just kind of enjoy collecting them.
No attic?
No. The way the attic is done, it's all that prefab with the cross beams.
Okay.
We would have to and there's what do you call it? The cellulose spray insulation.
Oh yeah.
So we'd have to do a major sort of remodel to open up the
pool house.
Huh?
Pool house?
No, we're not Joe. No, there's no pool house.
You bought out your neighbors' houses. They're just sitting there abandoned.
Uh-huh. Well, anyway, yeah, we'll see. Right now, it's just fun to, collect them and look at them, I guess.
Yeah, you'll get there.
That's
We'll
awesome.
see how it goes, yeah. But I did buy, I got this giant bin. This was half this size last year. I bought a bunch of, I'm just going to show this real quick. I bought a bunch of boxed, maybe you guys remember these. Do you guys
I'm sure
remember
Chris
these boxes?
Roberts
This is
does.
what I grew up with.
Yeah.
The Tycho Brown box. I bought, a whole stack.
Are those vintage or is that new?
No, these are vintage. These are from
Oh, cool.
These are from the 80s. And so somebody was selling a bunch of them. And so I bought a bunch of these. I've got some locomotives. I actually recreated the set I had as a child.
Oh, nice. That's
We
HO
only
scale?
I'm sorry?
That's HO scale?
That's HO scale. Yeah, it's the same scale as this Metro. And so I've been buying here's an example of the track. So I did buy some more of this is an HO scale snap track. This is by a different company, but they're all kind of doing this now. So this is Lionel, and then this is a Bachmann Easy Track, this HO scale. And so all the Tycho trains I have will run on this smaller track. The stuff I used to have as a kid, you may remember, was just the track. There was nothing, and you'd nail it to a board. You'd nail it to a piece of plywood. But with this stuff that you can just snap together, it's really easy to just put it on the floor and snap it together in a few minutes. So I bought some more Tycho stuff. I recreated the kit that I had as a child.
That's so cool.
That was fun. So
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't want to bore you guys too much with this, but yeah.
Well, because I'm such a huge Eric fan, I do know a little bit more of the story, that there was some issues with that Lionel set. How did everything go working with the company to get your issues resolved? Because I don't remember the end of the story.
Yeah, sure. So I bought this about a year ago, and when it arrived, I ran the first time I ran. So I put together an unboxing video, and so we hadn't really run it. And the first time I ran it for a couple of minutes, but then I had to leave and do something. When I came back to the second time to run it, everything powered on, everything went fine. And when I hit go forward, it didn't roll. The sound effects ramped up like it was throttling up and everything. It just didn't move. And so, I turned it off and on. I did all the normal troubleshooting things that you can do. And basically I had to call up Lionel and say, this thing doesn't roll. Everything is working except it doesn't move. And they had me send it in, and it took them about 6 or 8 weeks, but they fixed it. They returned it. They didn't charge me, and they damaged the box that it came in when they shipped it back. But it came back, and it's been working ever since. So it was just one of those things where I had kind of waited for a while. Melissa requested, I had to save up for it to buy it. I had to sell some of my old video games and some other stuff to pay for this set. And she wanted me to earn the money for it. It took me a while to save up for it. And then I bought it. And when I got it, it didn't work. And so then I had to wait another 6 or 7 weeks to get it back. And then it's been fine since then. It was just a fluke, I guess.
Did they make you pay the shipping to get it to them, to send it to them?
I don't think I had to pay any shipping. No, they sent me a PDF of the shipping label, and I attached it, took a lot of pictures of the box and everything like that, sent it in, and then they sent it back to me.
Well, that original set,
that
set is like huge. Did that come in the mail? The original set?
This thing? Yeah. This big box. You want me to bring it over? Yeah.
Like, how did that not get damaged in the mail? That had to have been pretty heavy.
I don't know.
Bill can't even get a Lord of the Rings set sent to him without it being obliterated.
By the way, Bill, my Lord of the Rings is also, it's not as damaged as yours, but I got the same 4K set, and inside a bunch of the spindles or whatever are cracked. So, not nearly as bad as yours, but yeah, I had that damage too. But this big set here, it came in this is the display box. It came in a Lionel shipping box, and then they had put it inside another box with a little bit of padding, but it came fine. So I've had pretty good luck with the stuff that gets shipped from this train store in Brooklyn.
Will that become your next Portland Expo, the Brooklyn Train Expo?
I haven't brought it up yet to Melissa, but I was wondering if there were any local train shows. We'll see. If PRGE doesn't come back soon, I'm going to have to find something. But I know I'm going to do exactly what I do with PRGE, and that's go to these shows and buy a bunch of stuff I don't need, and then put it on the shelf. So I'm trying to keep it. But maybe it'll be a Christmas time thing, At Christmas time, I get back on eBay and on the train thing websites, and I start looking and I buy a bunch of junk. So.
All right.
But how do you feel about VHS?
You boys are on your own on the VHS thing. I am trying to get rid. I actually spent a bit of time in the last year getting rid of or digitizing all my old VHS movies and stuff like that, and basically just getting rid of them. And don't let Chris Roberts hear it, but there were some commercials on there that are gone. They were from Illinois, though, so I don't know if he cares as much.
Oh, yeah. And Eagle Man title loans. You remember those?
I think I do remember Eagle Man title loan. Yeah. And the Victory Auto Wreckers. I don't know if you remember.
I know Victory. Yeah.
So not as vintage as the stuff Chris has been collecting, but there were some old VHS tapes from maybe the 90s that we got rid of that had old The Views.
He's gonna be mad about
Yeah, that's gold thrown out in the window.
That's gone. But
don't forget, you can tune over to Midnight is Flashing YouTube channel for all your VHS needs. Don't forget to do that. Eric, are you done, or you got more?
I have as much as you want me to show you, but otherwise, that's I think that's the good stuff.
Well, I know the lads still have a couple more things to show, so let's move on. Eric, you're free to join us if you want, or if you want to bail, it's up to you.
Nope, I will stay in the chat. I will stay in if you don't mind.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. I just have a couple quick things. I was doing the going through the DVDs that I refuse to throw out, even though we're in the realm of Blu-ray and 4K. I'm gonna have to put that on hold a little bit longer because I have a couple more additions to the collection. I might as well show you that I was lucky enough to come across, and then we'll get it back to Curtis and Matt Bandy to finish us off. A couple of CDs here. This I had digitally, and now I have an actual, the real CD version of it. White Stripes. Get Behind Me, Satan. So that's nice to actually get the real deal finally. This is all right album. They add a little bit. They go a little bit more electronic in this era of White Stripes, but and again, finding these for $2 can't go. What the heck? Look at this.
Is autograph?
Is this something? Is this worth $1 million?
Is that actually auto? Can you tell if it's real or printed or what? Or did a child just scribble in there?
I'm thinking it's the real deal. It's got
Bill, it might be worth less.
Look at he even doodled in this one.
Nah, that's printed on there. I bet they're all like that.
Super unique.
Nice try.
You can look for this on my eBay later if you want. And I didn't know anything about this album, but it's Paul McCartney. So for $2, thought I'd grab that.
When's that from?
This is from who? I'm hearing myself come back from someone.
Yeah, I'm hearing an echo too.
I'm fine.
It's not Eric. He's muted. Let me just mute him for a second. Yeah, it's Curtis. Why is Curtis echoing now all of a sudden?
Can't hear me at all.
What year is this from? This is from 1993, I think it says. Do you guys know this one?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know his solo stuff very well.
I started going through his solo stuff, but I didn't get very far yet. I'm not to 93.
Still has Linda on the credits. So, quite a hefty book in here. Holy mackerel. Let's see if I got another autographed book here. there's that, and another album I only had digitally. My Black Keys Brothers Digipack, plain black. Black Keys are going out on tour this year, by the way. You know what? I did show this before because I'm remembering this poster. You guys made fun of me because you thought I'd rip it.
Easy.
So I did already have this.
Ephemera.
Ephemera. That's exactly right. Thank you, Curtis. And finally, let me just finish off here with a couple of video games. I don't normally find video games that are worth picking up at the old thrift store because it's well picked over. But I was lucky here. Found Simpsons Hit and Run Platinum Hits version. But this title's always worth something.
Mm-hmm. Creeping up there.
Yeah. So yeah, it's complete. Got the booklet there. I think this is what, $30 nowadays?
Yeah, around there.
So, and then this was here. Normally this set would not be worth much at all, but because it's the 5th anniversary Steelbook edition, it does carry,
nice.
I guess, some value. Well, this was the retail $29.99, and that's probably what it still goes for. So it held its value.
And why did you buy that?
To sell.
But
at
if
all
it
this
sells for the same amount.
No. Look at this. Now, see, if you get this Steelbook version, you get this beautiful map.
Don't rip it.
I never rip posters.
Uh-huh.
I am careful with stuff. Look at that. It's on a pretty thick paper too. So, yeah. 3-discer, bonus materials, all kinds of stuff there. So, oh, do you hear that? That's a kid.
Somebody coming down?
That's a kid pounding around upstairs. Anyways, that's all I'll show you for this round. Not nothing too exciting, but what can you do? I think Curtis has sorted out his microphone issues.
Have I? I don't know. I didn't do anything differently. All right. You guys ready for some VHS?
You're on camera.
All right.
Oh,
So
Look
I
at
had
this,
a
another guest star. We have another celebrity guest star.
There we go. Oh, great.
That was so fast.
So let me tell you a little story about how this deal worked out. I was on the Instagram scrolling through the VHS for sale stuff, and one of the VHS I've been looking for a while is Tremors, right? I have Tremors on Laserdisc. I have Tremors on Blu-ray, one on VHS, because that's the one I remember renting as a kid. So I saw, and Tremors usually goes for $5 to $10. You know, it's a little bit of a spendier tape. I saw this one claim sale was going. They had Tremors for $1. And I was like, well. I have manifested what I wanted, and now I'm going to get Tremors for $1. So I instantly claim. But how these claim sales work is, and this is how they get you on these VHS ones, they say it's like $4 shipping for the first 4 tapes, right? No matter what. So whether you get 1 tape or 4 tapes, it's like $4 shipping. So I'm like, well, if these tapes are like 50 cents to $1, I might as well find a few more and get my money's worth on the shipping, right? So I'm like, okay, they got this tape and this tape and this tape, and I boop, get my 4, and I claim. Well, then the guy comes back to me and he goes, this is like the next day when he wants the payment. He's like, hey man, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the Tremors tape sold, but I got those other tapes for you. I was like, yeah, well, I didn't want those other. I wouldn't have got those tapes had it not been for Tremors. Tremors was the one I wanted, but I was like, I don't want to make a thing out of it. All right, fine, I'll get those tapes. But I always, as a thing I do. I don't want to say a courtesy. It's not a courtesy, but I always ask, hey, you wouldn't happen to have any like wrestling tapes or cartoon tapes from the 90s? So I asked him that, and he's like, actually, I do. I have a bunch of cartoon tapes. Let me show you what I got. So he sends me pictures, and I was like, oh, well, I'll take this and this and this and this and this and this. Long story short, I got like 20 tapes, no Tremors. So what started as I'm getting a deal on Tremors, getting it for $1, turned into like $30 and a bunch of what you're about to see. So first up, Power Rangers in Space. I think this is Eric's favorite movie.
Was this the
Oh,
tape
Bill.
you were looking for, Curtis?
You son of a gun. That's the good one too. That's like the not collector series one. Oh, just rubbing in my face. Looks a little sun bleached though. Looks a little sun bleached. Ah, you know it is. You know it is. I got Tremors on Laserdisc right there. I know what it's supposed to look like.
I'll trade you.
I bet you would. I got Dragon Ball Z, the movie, Tree of Might. Poke Friends. Right? You guys are jealous. Jelly. Seaside Pikachu. This is where the series really took a left turn into some serious territory and turned off a lot of the fans, but the
Did it get
hardcore
dark?
ones. Huh?
Did it get dark?
Super dark, super dark. And then into Psychic Surprise. Look at that. Pikachu crying. Are you kidding?
Mm-hmm.
For kids. Primate Problems. Nice little Pokemon collection going here. Oh, this is cool. So continuing my power. So I said, give me all your Power Rangers tapes. I didn't want Power Rangers in Space. I don't know what that is. I'm OG Power Rangers. Me and Eric, we're OG Power Rangers fans.
Sure,
And,
yes. Go.
So I got Food Fight, which is number 3, right? Check this out, though. This is hilarious. Look how much tape is on this thing.
Oh wow!
You see that?
That's
This
a
is
Could
new
have put a
one.
few more on there.
This,
Jeez.
I think this tape like offended a gypsy or something, and it cursed it to get thinner, like that Stephen King book. Because what is going on there? But hey, that's a cool label, though, huh? Nice big blue
Oh
label.
yeah, that's great.
So I got Food Fight. I got Happy Birthday Zach, which is number 4. But now this is a cool tape. I didn't realize. I saw he had a bunch of Power Rangers tapes. I didn't see that this was one of the things in there. I thought it was just a normal tape, but it's the official fan club video.
Oh,
So when you would join the Power Rangers fan club, they would send you this official fan club video, right? And it's like a 28-minute video, 26-minute video, something about that, where it's super bizarre. I watched it. I love it. It's perfect. But it's like behind the scenes of Power Rangers. So they're showing them filming the show, right? But then they interview the cast, and the cast are not like playing them the real life people. They're playing the characters still. So they're like, we got some fan questions for you. You know, what are you scared of? And, you know, Trini is like, well, you know, when we were fighting the fish monster, I was pretty scared, but the Power Rangers, you know, we pulled it through. I'm like, what? And then it's like cuts to them like filming the show. I'm like, what? This doesn't make sense. Like the logic is being broken here. Like you're acknowledging that it's a television show, but then the actors are pretending like it's real still. What? I love it. It's on YouTube. Look up VHS Archive. You can watch the whole thing. It's brilliant. You won't be disappointed. Monkey See, Doggy Do, some Powerpuff Girls. Bubble Vicious. And I got this is a cool one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles versus the Fly, Sewer Heroes 2. It's a bad guys series.
Oh.
Cowabunga Shredhead. I forgot a couple of these. My good friend Chris Roberts gave me. As we all know, I'm a giant Ernest fan.
oh, nice.
So this, I watched this today, actually. It labeled itself as a comedy special. It's definitely special. Don't know how much comedy there is to be found in this. It is super bizarre. It's a collection of Ernest commercials, which are pretty good. And then these weird, like sketches, these like video sketches where Ernest is like the only character in them. And well, I take that back. There's a couple where there's other people in it, but there's this one where he's like in an old like a fort in like the 1800s with the Davy Crockett hat on, and he's playing all these characters, but he'll have like the raccoon skin hat. He'll take that off and put on another hat and be another character, like in the same shot. And he'll be like talking over here, right? And he'll be like, now listen here, doo. And then, yes, sir, Mr. And that's like the whole, this goes on for like 10 minutes. It's absolutely bizarre. But I love Ernest. And this is, look at that. That's like the best Ernest cover ever.
Is that like late career?
No, this is early. This is pre the movies. I think this came out in 83. The first movie came out in 87 or 88. I forget. So this predates like the movies even. Very young Jim Varney. You can see he's got some of the characters he does on the back. It's a real odd thing. It's really, really bizarre. Anyway, he gave me that one, Chris. He also gave me RoboCop.
Oh, nice.
And RoboCop 2, which I've never seen RoboCop 2. Fun fact.
Oh, really? Not bad.
And then, one of my favorite films of all time, Over the Top, which you may notice. See there when he's wrestling the guy, right? You'll notice Stallone is wearing a certain hat. One that when things get serious in the arm wrestling biz,
it's like a switch.
You might turn it around. Well, this is official Over the Top merch. This is the hat that Lincoln Hawk wears in Over the Top.
Wow. How did you find that?
This was a gift to me. One of my friends knows I absolutely love this film. And I acknowledge this is not a good film. This is a total guilty pleasure film, but I love it. Knows I love it and got this for my birthday, I think, one year. And then, this is the end of, Chris also gave me All Dogs Go to Heaven because he knows I'm collecting the Don Bluth films. Oh, I forgot. And he also gave me Wayne's World. Keeps coming. Okay. And then the last of the big anti-Tremors lot, got Beavis and Butthead Do America. Great film. Saturday Night Live, Best of Chris Farley, which is in the VCR right now. I watched that today. It's hilarious. The Rocketeer, total underrated film. Amazing. Really good.
That was filmed in Santa Maria, which is where I work.
This
at the
is...
airport.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they actually have there's a museum there that has the suit, part of the suit.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. This is from Michigan, Lansing, Michigan.
Oh, cool.
But this is like peak pre-CGI practical effects. Like this is before CGI started taking over, they still had the practical effects, and this is like the pinnacle of that. It all started getting too reliant on CGI after this,
Well, you got Josh back on your side finally.
There we go. I'm sorry about the crack earlier. I love you, Josh. You and your pop-up Star Wars books. And finally, Back to the Future 2. Now, you notice I've been pulling them from over here, right? Pulling them from something. Well, my good friend Chris Roberts got me a swiveling.
Oh, wow.
God damn it. This Chris Roberts guy.
Hook the brother up. So I got a nice little VHS rack that I'm going to fill. And it's cool because it fits both. It fits the clamshells and the standard like slipcase.
Nice.
Sorry, Matt Bandy. Had to get
No,
that
you're
out.
okay.
Oh,
All right.
Wow.
it's like when you hold in a big fart and you just let it out, and very satisfying. Eric knows what I'm talking about.
right.
Thank you, Josh.
So if you are running out of space because of all these tapes that keep coming in, which are your first tapes to get rid of that get the axe?
Honestly, like regular movies, like I have Wayne's World on Blu-ray. You know, Back to the Future. I have.
Okay.
As much as I love these films,
Yeah, makes
these
sense.
ones, it's
So-
it's the ones that are harder to come by, like Best of Chris Farley. You know, this special. Like I don't know
Yeah.
if these ever got put on the Star Wars, the Power Rangers fan club. This is the gold. These things are great.
No one's taking your powder puff away from you.
Yeah, the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
You know you want them,
Powder
Bill. I'll trade them to you for that Tremors. Huh?
I will easily swap you the VHS for the laser disc. I think that would be a good,
Get out of here,
cool
man. That
trade.
laser disc is really cool looking.
I know it would look really cool here.
It's,
Oh, there we go. So, yeah, I have a couple things that I'm going to show you. That actually, I got these for Christmas, and I was going to show on the show a couple times ago, but didn't because I kind of had a theme going on. But I think you guys will appreciate this. I think it's kind of neat. I'm going to hold it up, and I'm going to see if you guys can guess what this is. Because I was completely shocked when I got this for Christmas. My mom gave this. Actually, this is from my dad. And what was up?
A geode, uncracked geode or something.
wait.
What if
Fudge.
I was to hold this up with it?
It's a knife sharpening thing.
So, do you know what a whetstone is?
It's a whetstone.
A whetstone. It's not W-E-T,
WHET.
W-H-E-T stone. Yeah. So this whetstone was my grandmother's grandfather's whetstone,
Holy.
and he was born in 1795 and died in 1877, and this was his. I wish you could feel how smooth the top of this rock is. So this specific rock for whetstones came from Arkansas. There's a certain mountain range that were known for the whetstones. I forget the specific type of stone that this is, but it's you can see the tool marks on there from where he sharpened his knives, and just the fact that how old this thing is, and it was from my family is. I didn't even know this existed. I didn't know my dad had this. And if you could just feel I wish you could feel how smooth the top of this is. It's ridiculous. It's like glass. It's crazy. And and it's got a little, my grandmother wrote a little note on the bottom of it, a little bit history of what this was and who it belonged to. She did that with a bunch of stuff, and so it's cool to have her handwriting on there as well.
That's crazy. So it was your grandmother's
grandfather.
Wow.
Yeah. Born in 1795. How crazy is that? Those things pretty old.
Yeah.
So I've used this a little bit. And you just kind of get it wet, and I watched a couple videos on YouTube on how to do it, but so I was shocked, and thought that was pretty cool to get that. And so that was from my dad, and this was also from my dad as well. So this is his knife that I coveted as a kid. I thought it was the coolest thing. So this is a Scrimshaw knife. You guys know what a Scrimshaw knife is?
It's like
it scrims
and shock.
So Scrimshaw knife is, I believe this is some form of bone. It might be ivory. I'm not sure 100% on that. But the craftsman would carve into the bone, and then he would run an ink over it, so it would stain where he had carved. So that's my dad's initials, WLB. And then there is it's like a sailor ship on the other side there. So this is, my dad had this long before I was born. This was kind of his pocket knife, and I thought this was the coolest thing when I was a kid, and yeah, he gave it to me this Christmas. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. And then I also got, this was my grandfather's knife. This was his skinning knife. So this is a fixed blade. I believe it has a what's called a I don't know if this has a hidden tang in it, but this was his knife, and this is ridiculously sharp. This is probably the sharpest knife that I have. But this was my grandfather's.
No chipping on that blade.
No, yeah, the edge is really, really sharp. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I don't have any heirlooms like that.
No, this is like the first that I have, and I actually have. We don't have it at the house here, but my grandparents' grandfather clock that was left for me, and eventually that'll be in a home of mine someday. But yeah, it's cool to have those. So yeah, there you go. Got my knife collection.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Beat that, Eric.
I can't beat that. Those are fabulous items. Very nice.
Yeah, wow. So that's about it for the show, I think. Unless, Eric, you got a big showstopper you want to finish us off with?
No, that's too much pressure. No, I have nothing. I'm grateful to be on and to learn from you guys about collecting and all the interesting new areas to get into.
Eric, what do you? I mean, we know you're into the trains. What other stuff are you? Has got your eye right now?
Well, that's actually it. You know, I've been watching you guys with the VHS and the music, but I haven't taken that plunge yet. And really, I'm still my video game collecting has fallen off. That's my video game collecting has fallen off, and the trains are kind of taking a thing. But
if you want to start collecting knives, Eric, a good daily carry would be this Kershaw.
Yeah.
This is my daily knife here.
You know,
made in the USA. I believe they're from. I think they might be from your area. That might be up in Oregon or Seattle, I believe.
What's it called? Kershaw.
Kershaw, yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking about getting a nice knife, but
they're good ones.
Nothing really. I'm boring. I'm living vicariously through you guys and your collecting right now. Trying not to accumulate too much more stuff. I mean, you can see the piles behind me. Got to get that cleaned up.
We all got piles.
There's so much stuff. So much stuff.
Are you? Time you might get those.
Is there a little bit of temptation to thin the video games out a little bit more?
Are you asking me? Yeah, there is. Yes, I was thinking about it the other day. I spent a little bit of time, maybe in November or December, reorganizing the cabinets that I got all my stuff in, and I got too much. Junk. I picked up too much junk at the various thrifts, and so I'm thinking about going back to a more word for it, cultivated,
curated.
That is the word I'm looking for. A more curated collection. I love these cartridges, though. The cartridges aren't going anywhere, but I might get rid of some of the disc-based stuff.
Eric, that is what I've been doing actually. The disc-based stuff. Yep, I sold all my GameCube stuff. Haven't been able to part with the PS1. PS1 is still kind of near and dear to my heart, but
yeah, I agree. I would PS1 and maybe Dreamcast. I can't get rid of any Sega stuff, but and Saturn. But I'm thinking maybe PS2 era and on. I might start calling some of that stuff out.
Yeah.
Well, you were doing the multiple buys on the same title, right? Where like if you would buy this and then you would buy the original version.
Yeah.
Right? So
I probably have a lot of dupes like that, duplicates. Yeah.
well, it's cool. It's fun. It's cool, fun to watch people's evolution in their collecting habit. It's
Absolutely.
fun to see where things go. That's part of the show, the collectors. So thanks everyone for joining us for this another episode of the Collectors live chat. We'll be back. I don't know, in a couple weeks. What do you think, guys? You want to do it again? We still got more collecting to do. More Star Trek trivia.
Yes. Oh, wait. I was going to show this. We got this in Texas too. This is Star Trek puzzle.
Oh, sexy.
Beauty.
Yeah, she already
Classic
put it
Star
together.
Trek.
My wife is a big puzzle freak, so yeah. Put this together. I'm going to Mod Podge it and put it up somewhere.
Nice. That's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. In the meantime, don't forget the VHS show will be back. Look for us over at the Midnight is Flashing YouTube channel. We got lots of VHS to talk about with Chris Roberts. And as usual, I want to thank everyone who joined us here. Matt Bandy, back from Texas. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Curtis with the hat over the top. Good to see Curtis. And of course, our superstar of the day, Eric Mighty Q Dog, joining us. You can
Thank you for
follow
having me
him
on.
over at Mighty Q Dog YouTube channel, where he appears with his lovely wife weekly on the In the Q Dog House episodes every Tuesday.
Yeah. I can't believe we're still doing that.
I can't believe they did 2 weeks of In the Q Dog House without mentioning the return of SDC Pod, the podcast. But that's okay. That's okay. I will wait till next week, maybe.
That is an embarrassing omission. You are absolutely right. Bill, we've been listening. I just finished up your most recent episode.
That's what I want to hear. Thank you,
We'll
sir.
mention it. You're right. You are absolutely right. That is
Yeah.
that is a sin.
You got to lead with that. Yeah, for sure. All right.
And thank you to everyone who's watching. Our last video it might have by this point hit 100 views.
Oh,
That's a milestone.
Congratulations.
That's right. And it's good because it kind of put the VHS show to shame a little bit, because now the collectors coming back up. You know, VHS was like the big deal. Now collectors. So thanks everyone for hitting the like button and getting people to find the video. Thanks everyone in the chat, and we'll see you next time. That's it. See ya.
Bye.